"You don't scare me, tin soldier," the boxer sneered, just before his fist snapped forward, cracking against the stoic jaw of the silent guard. The crowd at Arlington National Cemetery gasped. A child screamed. Time seemed to stop. Marcus Mad Dog Dalton, a former heavyweight champion, known more for viral knockouts than respect, had come to the tomb of the unknown soldier as part of a promotional video. He wore sunglasses, a designer tracksuit, and the swagger of someone who believed the rules didn't apply to him. But the moment he stepped over the black rope into sacred ground, things changed. "Sir, step back," the sentinel had said. His voice ice-cold, his M14 rifle tight in hand, dressed in full ceremonial uniform. The tomb guard, a member of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, known as the Old Guard, never broke posture, never blinked. Dalton laughed, flexed for a phone camera, and took a slow, mocking step closer. "I said, step back," the sentinel warned again, a whisper more forceful now. His white gloves never moved. His posture remained perfect. But Dalton grinned wide, turned to the camera crew filming his bad boy image, and swung. The punch landed, but the soldier didn't fall. The crowd gasped. Even the boxer looked surprised. But the sentinel, still motionless, spoke one final time. "You have violated hallowed ground. You are under detention by military authority." Within seconds, 2 soldiers in dress blues emerged from behind the monument, flanking Dalton. One wore the rank of a captain, the other a master sergeant. They moved like shadows, fast, silent, deliberate. Marcus tried to back away, but was gently restrained. The camera stopped rolling. The crowd stared. Silence, deep, shattering silence, hung in the summer air like a flag at half-mast. Dalton was escorted to the base of the steps. He resisted at first, cursing, demanding his lawyer, but no one responded. One by one, visitors stepped aside, giving him a clear path of shame. Even tourists who hadn't seen the punch now looked at him with disgust. Then came the moment that shifted everything. An older man stepped out of the crowd, wearing a Medal of Honor around his neck. Colonel Thomas Braddock, retired. Vietnam, decorated beyond measure. His eyes locked with Dalton's as the boxer was sat down on a nearby bench under silent supervision. "You think you're tough," Braddock said, voice low, steady. "Try guarding this tomb, rain or snow, day or night, for a soldier you'll never meet, who never came home." Dalton didn't speak. For the first time, he looked unsure. The colonel stepped closer. "That man you hit, he memorized 21-second walk cycles, stands in a wool uniform in 100-degree heat, hasn't smiled in months, all to honor someone whose name we don't even know. That's not muscle, that's discipline." The boxer's chest heaved. He looked at the tomb, the marble, the words. "Here rests in honored glory an American soldier known but to God." Something broke in him. His mouth opened, then shut. He took off his sunglasses. The crew behind him slowly lowered their cameras. Even the social media manager put her phone away. Dalton stood, shaky now, and asked, "Can I apologize?" The captain looked him over. "You can." Together they walked back to the silent sentinel, who still hadn't moved. Dalton stepped forward and for the first time in public bowed his head. "I disrespected you, and this ground. I'm sorry." The sentinel didn't nod, didn't flinch, but another soldier behind him did. A slight gesture. Enough. Then, without ceremony, Dalton stepped back behind the rope. As he turned to leave, someone clapped. Then another, then the whole crowd, a slow, rising applause, not for the man he had been, but the man he had just become. Backstory filled the silence. Marcus Dalton had been raised in a broken home, fought for everything, fame, food, a name. Boxing was survival. Respect, he said, was for suckers who lose. He'd grown famous for taunting opponents, punching refs, and dodging rules. But that day he found something stronger than fists, something you don't train for in the gym. Discipline, honor, silence. And that sentinel, he had a name too, Specialist Andrew Morales, 23, 3rd-generation Army. Trained 18 months for a position fewer than 700 men in history had held. That punch hit his face, but it hit a nation's pride harder. Marcus never returned to boxing after that day. But he started something else. He launched a foundation called 21 Steps to teach discipline and honor to young fighters. First lesson? Visit Arlington. Final scene. A year later, Marcus returns in a black suit, no cameras, no crew. He watches the changing of the guard. When the sentinel passes, Marcus stands still, hands folded, head bowed. The soldier stops for a moment, mid-step, just a pause, and continues. Perfectly timed, perfectly silent. Because some punches teach pain, others teach respect. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.